What's up, everybody? Jay here with Jay's Backyard Cooking, and today we're gonna get into a beef ribeye roast on the Traeger 780. Let's go over the ingredients again. Obviously, the prime roast, which is what today's cook is about: potatoes, seasoning, butcher's twine, a knife, tin foil. That's it. So for the prime roast, you can see here it's a little over $25, a 4.5 pounder. It should go. I'm hoping 3.5 to 4 hours, and we're just gonna coat it with some Breggy Balm. If you don't know about Breggy Balm, this is the stuff right here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut this out of the package. I'm gonna set it on my aluminum pan. You're gonna hear me quite often say that I'm all about simplicity. I like minimal dishes, minimal cleanup, as much as possible. We're not even really gonna do anything to this. The one thing that I am gonna do though, is I'm gonna feel right around the bone right here, and I'm gonna just slice it down probably about halfway so that I can pull that meat apart, because I wanna get some seasoning in between that bone and the meat on the inside. That's where the butcher's twine comes in, because once I get it all nice and seasoned, I'll wrap the roast in butcher's twine to hold that meat back together on the bone, and then we're gonna let it sit and rest for about 30 to 45 minutes. Just let it really start to sweat and soak up that seasoning. Just like that. This way I'll be able to get the seasoning all up in here, and then I'll season everything around it, get that butcher's twine. So we're just gonna sprinkle this in there. There's no really a good way of doing it. You just wanna make sure that everything in there is nice and coated. I'm a big believer in the bone gives the meat a lot of flavor. This is the reason why I wanna leave the bone on. Some people will cut it off, some people will just do it whole like this. Me, on the other hand, I like to just cut it apart like I did. We'll sprinkle some of that got on the outside. Don't worry about all the extra. The roast will pick it up as you're flipping it. And then I'm just gonna go really heavy coating on the outside. I wanna try to build up a really good thick coat of bark. This is just a prime example of you not needing a high-end butcher shop meat delivered to your door. Just pay attention when you're out there grocery shopping. Doesn't matter where you're at. Me and my wife do all of our grocery shopping at H-E-B, and every time we go, it doesn't matter what we're going for, how small the grocery haul is, we make it a point to pass by the meat aisle and see what they have on special. And that's what I buy. And after that, then I figure out what I'm gonna make with it. It doesn't matter what it is: pork, beef, ribs, tenderloin. I do it all. So with the butcher's twine, there's really no science to it. Just cut a piece, cut some long enough that's gonna reach all the way across. This pan here, I'm gonna use 2 pieces. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna lay the roast on top of it, on top of 2 pieces, set aside right here. And then bring it around and knot it up. Pull on it like that, and that is it. So I'm gonna do 2 of these like this. We'll let the roast sit here for 30, 40 minutes. In the meantime, I'll get the Traeger up and ready to go. It's already clean. I cleaned that this morning. So back outside, we're gonna get the Traeger cranked up. We're gonna get it up to 250, and then we'll let it heat up. So for the pellets, guys, again, I buy everything from H-E-B. The B&B pecan is my go-to. That's pretty much what I use. I very rarely stray away from it, but when I do, it's just because I found something else on special. But the B&B pellets, the pecan flavor. So this is what we're looking for right here. You see the little sweat that the meat started? Kind of binded the seasoning in there really good. This is what we're looking for. So we got the Traeger up to 250. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set it right in the middle, bone down, and get the fat on top. That way as it's melting, it'll run off down into the meat. We're not gonna do anything to it now for about another hour. At that point, I'll start spritzing. So here we are at the 1 hour mark. Now I'm just gonna start spritzing every 30 minutes and then we'll keep an eye on it. This isn't gonna be about time, this is gonna be about internal temp. I wanna get it up to about 135, 140, that's where I'm gonna pull it. There's the dog. There's the barking you hear in the background. He's getting close to breaking through my fence. The perfect color that we're looking for right there. I'm just gonna spray that and just spritz it. Don't be afraid. Spritz. You want to get it nice and coated. At this point is when I'm gonna put in the potatoes. I'm just gonna throw those in the back just to let them. All right, we're here now. It's done. We're at 140, which I said where I like to keep it at 135 to 140. So we're done. I'm gonna turn the Traeger off and then I'm gonna go ahead and just let this rest in here for about 30 minutes while we get the rest of today's meal. But if you look, the potatoes have been here for a while too, and look, they just allow them to cook with the roast. So here we are, it's about 4.5 hours later. The roast is done. Now we're just gonna cut off the twine. And then what I'm gonna do is now separate the bone from the meat, and then we can slice it up. We also have some boneless ribs left over. We can go ahead and cut that in half. Look at that. This is what we want right here. The perfect medium rare. Right there. Look at all the juices coming out. So the beauty about a cut this big is me and my wife aren't gonna finish all this tonight. We'll make something else out of it tomorrow. But here you have it. Nice bark, nice. Prime rib roast in the Traeger, 4.5 hours, baked potato on the side. It's gonna be a good meal. We'll see you next time.